Imagine this scenario. You have just turned 65. You sell your big family home and you are sitting on a very nice pile of cash. You decide it is time to slow down, so you visit a local retirement village. The place looks absolutely beautiful. There is a heated swimming pool, a bowling green, manicured gardens, and a community hall where everyone is smiling and drinking tea. The sales rep is incredibly friendly. They tell you that you can buy a lovely 2-bedroom villa for $600,000. It seems like the perfect plan. You get to free up some cash, live in a resort, and never have to mow a lawn again.
But behind that beautiful bowling green lies a corporate real estate business model designed to quietly extract a massive chunk of your wealth. What they do not tell you in the glossy brochure is that you are not actually buying real estate. You are signing a contract that contains some of the most lopsided financial rules in the country. If you do not understand these rules before you sign, you could easily hand over a third of your net worth to a private corporation. Let us look at the silent traps waiting for you at 65 and how to protect your nest egg.
Let us do the simple math. You buy into a village for $600,000. You live there happily for 10 years. When it is time to leave, either because you need to move into aged care or because you pass away, the unit is sold. The DMF is capped at 30%. The village operator immediately takes 30% of your money right off the top. That is $180,000 of your retirement savings gone. The sales rep will tell you this fee is fair because it keeps your ongoing monthly costs low and pays for the community facilities. But the reality is that you are prepaying a massive corporate profit margin with your home equity. It is a stealth tax on your retirement.
When you hand over your $600,000, you probably think you own the villa. You do not. In the vast majority of Australian retirement villages, you are signing a leasehold or a licence to occupy agreement. You do not get a title deed. You do not own the bricks, the mortar, or the land. You have simply purchased a very expensive ticket that gives you the right to live in that specific unit for a period of time. Because you do not own the property, you have no control over the asset. You can't renovate it without permission. You can't rent it out if you decide to travel for a year. And most importantly, you can't easily borrow against it if you need cash for a medical emergency. You have traded a highly liquid, solid asset, your family home, for a restrictive contract that holds no physical land value. You are completely at the mercy of the village operator's rules. And if you decide you do not like the village after 6 months, getting your money back to move somewhere else is a financial nightmare. When property prices in Australia go up, homeowners celebrate. If your family home doubles in value over 15 years, that wealth belongs to you. But in a retirement village, capital growth is another trap.
Many retirement village contracts state that if the value of your unit goes up, the village operator gets to keep 50% or even 100% of the capital gain. Let us look at the math. You buy in for $600,000. 10 years later, inflation and the property market have pushed the value of the unit up to $800,000. There is a $200,000 capital gain. If your contract has a zero capital gains clause, the operator keeps the entire $200,000. On top of that, they still deduct their 30% DMF fee from your original $600,000. You walk away with just $420,000, while the operator makes a massive profit on your unit.
Some modern contracts do offer to share the capital gains 50-50, but they often pair this with a no capital loss clause. They make it sound like a favour, but they are simply ensuring that you take all the risk while they take the reward. Always read the capital gains clause. If you do not get 100% of the growth, you are losing money to inflation every single year you live there. The costs do not stop with the exit fee and the capital gains.
When you decide to leave a retirement village, you are often hit with two final parting gifts: refurbishment costs and ongoing monthly fees. Most contracts state that when you leave, you must pay to bring the unit back to a marketable condition. The operator will walk through your unit and decide that the carpet needs replacing, the walls need painting, and the kitchen needs updating. They will send the bill straight to you or deduct it from your payout. You are paying to renovate a property you never actually owned, so the operator can sell it to the next resident for a higher price. And then there is the empty unit trap. In the past, if your unit did not sell after you moved out, you had to keep paying the weekly or monthly maintenance fees indefinitely. Your estate could be billed for years while the unit sat empty.
Thankfully, state governments have stepped in. In states like Victoria, Western Australia and South Australia, new laws cap this. Operators are now required to pay out your exit entitlement or complete a compulsory buyback within 12 to 18 months of you permanently leaving. But 12 months is still a long time to wait for your money, especially if you need that cash immediately to pay for a spot in an aged care facility. Does this mean you should never move into a retirement village? Not necessarily. For some people, the community, the safety and the social life are worth the financial cost, but you must go in with your eyes wide open.
First, never use a standard family lawyer to review a retirement village contract. These contracts are incredibly complex and operate under completely different laws than standard property sales. You must hire a lawyer who specialises solely in elder law and retirement village contracts. It'll cost you a few $1,000s, but it could save you hundreds of thousands down the track. Second, ask the operator for a contract check or a written exit estimate. By law, operators must provide you with a statement showing exactly how much money you would take home if you decided to leave after 1, 2, 5 or 10 years. If they refuse to provide this, walk away immediately.
Third, look at alternative options. If you want to downsize and eliminate maintenance, why not just buy a standard, low-maintenance unit or townhouse in the general community? You will own the land, you will keep 100% of the capital gains, you will pay zero exit fees when you sell, and you can still hire a local gardener to mow the lawn. You get the exact same lifestyle benefits without the corporate wealth extraction. Retirement living is a lifestyle decision, but it must be backed by solid math. Do not let the beautiful swimming pool and the friendly sales rep distract you from the reality of the contract.
The DMF is a heavy tax. The lack of ownership limits your freedom, and the exit fees can decimate the legacy you want to leave to your kids. At age 65, you have worked too hard for your money to let a retirement village operator quietly slip it out of your pocket. Be smart, get specialised legal advice and run the exit math before you sign on the dotted line. If this breakdown helped you see through the glossy brochures, hit the like button and drop a comment below. Let me know if you or your family have had to deal with these exit fees. I read every single comment. I'm the Retired Aussie, and I will see you in the next one.